Hello, welcome to Soul Chats, support for your spiritual journey. I am Elise, and it is an absolute pleasure to have you here with me today. I wanted to talk to you about the energy now, about what I'm feeling, and the ancestral work that's opening right now, almost like there's a portal that's opening, and many different people have many different explanations as to what's happening now. But really, all that I care about right now is that it is felt. It is an example of energy moving through into the physical. So essentially, this is a time when our physical is catching up with the energy. So if you're a person that's been doing a lot of energetic work over the last few, hey Charlie, it's my youngest son who's just here. Over the last few years, then this is a time to really bring it home. Bringing it home to your present family situation. So obviously there's work with woundings that are coming up with our partners. There are also, there is work to be done in the family that we were born into. And so it's almost like a collective groan. Oh, no. Yeah, it's time to at least open the door. I mean, this is what you've been preparing for. If you have been one who's been doing the energetic work in the background, as well as living your life, right? So, but you had a lot of unknown, mystical energetics happening. And the thing is that when you work with energy, it goes somewhere, right? And just as when there's trauma or when there are emotions or thoughts in the body, it's got to go somewhere. And so it goes into the body. And the energy likewise. So it's essentially a time to bring consciousness through to the energy, merging them both. A very powerful time it is. Such a powerful time. So that's good and well, right, to talk about these mystical things, but how can we break it down to bite-sized pieces to easily digest it? How can we work with this? How can we help this this process happen, and really support ourselves during this time? Well, what's coming through now is a really simple universal law to directly apply to us now. So what we do on the outside, so if you're focused on eating better, right, so it's both physical and internal, but let's just say this is on the physical. We're preparing the meals that we want to eat. We're making sure that we eat certain things that we know we need, like vegetables and what have you. But so we got that, and there's also the physical exercise. So the asana. So the physical practice in yoga is one, and there's benefits for that, right? Also, going for walks, moving the body, dancing, moving the energy around the body, right? But but it's the body that needs to work. The physical component needs to work, right? And so often we can, in our day-to-day, forget the inner work. And so often we're imbalanced with one or the other. I know a lot of women that want to do the inner work and don't want to do the physical. And then on the flip side, I know a few and a lot of men and a few women, I'm sorry, but that may be just my circle, but it's where they focus on the physical and not so much the inner work. And so we can just remember to have this inner law, or this inner, it's a universal law, right, with us, with whatever we do on the outside. We match it essentially with a practice from within. And it's so simple. But I'll give you an example. So you decide to go for a nice long walk, an hour walk. Right, so you come back, and sometime during that day, the aim is to get an hour or around about an hour of inner work, whether it be meditation, a simple breath work, journaling. Often we have the inner that comes out, so but there's something inner and spiritual and sitting in prayer. If you're a person who enjoys sitting in prayer, and that's your form of meditation, even down to contemplation, reflection on your life, or even your day so far, or how you're feeling in the present moment. That has a huge impact on how you respond to things, right, rather than react to things. So it also brings that consciousness and provides like this gorgeous, I want to say home around the energy that I'm feeling now, which is, really starting to bring the energy through into the lives that we lead, really embodying that. So it's a very potent time, and there are a lot of potent warrior-like energies around right now, which is awesome to align yourself with that universal law that I just spoke about. The what you do within, you do without, and so there's like this honing in on that in you, and it's just beautiful. So there's that, and also that will support you to then be open to seeing things, interactions with family members that ordinarily you mightn't have seen before, because it's just something that you're used to being a part of, right? I mean, you're born into this family, you are born into essentially a role that you play in that family. There's certain energetics in there, and certain traumas that are through the line that you're born into as well. So heading a little bit more mystical, but you've got the physical, which we've spoken about, right? We're looking after the physical, we're looking after what we're eating, we're looking after our bodies, we're moving it. So anything that we are exposed to in the family dynamics, or even just sitting with ourselves, we're all connected, right? So it helps support us. And then it's the inner work which can take us through the family line, right? To see what you've inherited, and it's huge work, and not everyone is drawn to doing this. Essentially, your backstop in your family, you know, and not a lot of people would know what you're doing either, so it's very thankless. However, if you are drawn to it, you're typically what they call the black sheep of the family, someone who doesn't feel like they quite fit in. You're here to bring about change, right? And to trust that, but not do it in a way that's rebellious or, you know, in that vein, because then you're closed off as well from learning. It's a give and receive. So it's a very humbling process to work the line, especially with the energetics that are out now. So if you know about Eris and the goddess, she's the goddess of discord and chaos. The myth is an ancient Greek one where all the gods and goddesses were invited to a wedding on Mount Olympus, and she wasn't. She was left out of that because she causes trouble. She speaks the truth, and she's a warrioress, right? So she's potent. She doesn't give two hoots about what anyone else thinks, or, you know, like little niceties, essentially, or trying to fit in. She's just her own person. And long story short, she found out that the wedding was taking place and got a little distorted, took an apple, caused a hell of a lot of chaos. And essentially it wasn't pretty, right? So they threw her out, and she's the forgotten goddess. She's representing all of those parts of the feminine that isn't welcome. But the thing is, it's a beautiful, beautiful reminder that if we bury our head in the sand of those parts that we don't like or that are frowned upon, they grow in power. And my goodness, is this energy powerful right now, right? And what a time to be coming through when we're already on our knees. Very humbling experience. And so it's a beautiful reminder of what is it in ourselves that we haven't wanted to look at, that have been niggling. There's like niggling truths that might be rising to the surface. There's, stuff that you've suppressed, that you've denied about self that may be coming up, or you might be thinking or listening to this and going, holy crap, I think it's time. Is this a message from the depths? I just love it. So you've got that goddess that's quite powerful, that energy right now. And 3 days ago, it was quite a powerful reminder for me, where I had an embodiment session with Eris, and very humbling, let's just say, and helped me to see a hell of a lot of truths. And one of which is my connection to the masculine line. And it's amazing and beautiful, and I honor it. I always have, equally as much as I honor the feminine, so the flow and the creativity and beauty and grace, and I love all that. Also, I love the masculine just as much and embody it probably more easily than the feminine, but obviously over the last few years I've worked to bring that up as equally as possible. So what I'm drawn to doing now is speaking of androgyny, of speaking of the masculine line. And so you have a warrioress in Eris coming up and saying, hey, look, I'm here to remind you of those things that you feel are not gonna help you fit into society. Well, I'm here to remind you that they're here still. They're in you. And things are coming to the light. So how about you stop resisting and just get it over with and accept yourself and love yourself for who you are. And the power that is returned. She's warrior. The power that is returned to you as a result of not running away, of, all of that, of accepting everything as it is in the present moment is huge. What a gift. What a gift. And so there's this other aspect that needs to be discussed, and that's Mars. Mars is amazing. He's, oh my goodness. That Mars energy is, he's warrior. He's the sister of Eris and protector. That saying divide and conquer comes from Mars. He's a god of war. And there is a power in him, a virility in him, passion that's, rarely come across in the masculine line as much as he holds. It's like border aggression, but when this energy is embodied in someone, and they've been working with this energy consciously and also in the feminine, energetically, and they're heart aligned, there is this amazing grace that comes in the form of the protector of Mars, in the form of service to the divine and the grace, that which brings him to his knees out of love, because you won't get into the knees of that energy, to the knees through any other way. Never surrender is the saying. However, surrender through love, yeah, it's possible if there's enough space and openness there. And so, unfortunately, in the society that we live in, there is a lot of distortion in that Aries Mars energy, and there has been for thousands of years. And so now you get what I was talking about earlier. Now this is the time for us to step into our ancestral lineage. This is the time, if you're drawn to working with that Mars will help, help that portal, the time of the portal, which I mentioned earlier. That's here now, where the energy is catching up with the physical. Well, Mars represents the physical. He represents the body, everything you can feel, everything you can see. He penetrates the world. How are you talking to people? How are you in the body? Are you comfortable? Not time to go elsewhere. He is this energy is very much courageous. Stands before a battle and is prepared to truly fight and not give in. And now, so the question is, for those who are mature in their spirituality, what is a worthy foe to fight for within self? And for me, I can't answer for you, but for me, it's hope. I fight for hope. I fight for love and hope. And I won't surrender with that. Never. Never will I give up on humanity. It breaks my heart. Probably daily, actually. But I will never give in with that. And I'm constantly surrendering to that which is beyond me, to keep me on that path of softening, of opening, and yet having the polarity of having that strong warrior Mars-like energy within. And so what's the battle that's worthy of your energy and your time? And meditations and intentions, what is it that's worthy? What is it that you can raise an octave with and be in service to with your Mars energy, with that fight in you, with that fire. So it's just something to ponder over and maybe incorporate that in your regular, whatever it is that you do, meditations, visualizations, whatever it is. It's a very potent time. So sending loads of love to you, and may this support in some way. Just to let you know that my Facebook group, Surrender to Your Soul, I make videos on there more regularly now, more regularly than I'm posting here, my podcast. And so there's new content up. There's a new wave of energy behind me to just come out and really own this and take my place. So I would love to invite you over to that group if you want to explore this more. I've made a video where we do a little practice in this energy, in this Mars energy, so you can feel into it a little more, and also keep your eyes peeled for an online course. And if you live in Australia, in New South Wales especially, stay tuned, because I'm building a little studio at the back to do regular meditations and support. So they'll be face to face so long as COVID, restrictions don't go too ridiculous. Well, that's the plan, and yeah, it's my passion. So is to hold that space and to help you go through that gorgeous journey of uncovering the truth. And it's always so helpful to know that someone's there next to you who gets it, who's done it, and is always in a spiral, doing it again and again and again. I think I don't feel like the work is ever really done so long as I'm in this body and in this world, which is very humbling, actually. It's good. But yeah, I'm so looking forward to this new chapter, and I'm hoping to see you in that group. Also, keep your eyes peeled for updates on my writings on Elise Haywood on my Facebook page as well, if you're interested in having a look. I'm in the process of writing a novel, which is actually journeying through my personal masculine line or paternal line, and it's fascinating what's coming up. Just really big stuff, and it's helping me to accept all parts in myself doing this. So it's really interesting how the path opens up in order for you to access, more healing or whatever you're drawn to doing. For me, I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and writing a novel before my kids get up, and that feeds my soul and helps me to accept why I was so afraid of parts of myself, especially those that were in the masculine. The more I speak to my grandmother, before my grandfather passed, I spoke to him and he shared a hell of a lot. And then the journey has taken me, the characters has taken me into the depths of, holy crap, this happened here, this happened, and I can see it playing out. It's amazing. And so for me, that's my process. It's a new one and I didn't expect this. So that's another thing to be aware of, is the way you used to process, the way you used to go through and, get into certain truths may not be required now. There might be something new coming in for you to have fun with. Just enjoy it as well. As we're having a human experience, we need to enjoy ourselves. It's not all about doom and gloom. Oh, this is uncovering this, and oh, you're getting new skills, new stuff's coming through. Energy's catching up with the physical. It's going to show in different ways. It's going to be represented in different forms of the physical. So I'm excited for everyone. And I just look forward to hearing about any transformations that are happening. Drop a comment here. I'd love to get some communication happening. Or come join us in my Facebook group, where I share a hell of a lot over there. And all right, I think that's it. Hopefully I will catch you next time. All right, bye for now.